everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Today's going to be a cartridge shave off versus whatever you want to call it, and it's basically just to find out what I find a better shaving cartridge razor out of these two razors that I'm using today. But first off, we'll start off with the soap. The soap is going to be that darn soap from Oleo Soapworks makes it, and it's in sort of conjunction with that darn Rob who makes shaving brushes. Oddly enough, I didn't use a that darn Rob brush because I don't have one. I used to have one, but I passed it over to Kai Triska and he uses it on his channel now, I believe. So that is the soap. The scent on it is absolutely out of this world. It's like a sort of spicy, woody, sweet coffee, vanilla. It smells almost like a chai latte. It smells incredible. Now the brush today is going to be my Carve shaving brush, hand turned wood, and we've got the little Carve coin on the bottom there, hopefully you can see that. And this has got a 20mm knot, I think it is, and it's a Super Badger. Now from doing a bit of research and a bit of reading, Super Badger here is supposed to be the top ultimate Badger here. This to me looks more like just pure Badger. It's still very soft, it has actually broken in and got softer, but if you look at the tips on it, they're not uniform, they're just not quite there for what I would expect a Super Badger to be like. So straight into the soap. I've left quite a little bit of water in this knot. I know it's a small knot, but it does quite a good lathering job. But I always leave quite a fair bit of water in it because it is so small, just to try and get the soap deep into the fibres so that it doesn't actually chew away the lather as I'm creating it on my face. And someone just recently asked whether I were using one of these razors or using a razor similar to this one. So this is sort of in conjunction with that. And the razor that he's talking about was I think it was the Fusion Pro Glide that he wanted to see if I'd use it on the channel. Now I don't have the Pro Glide, I'm not sure whether this is actually called a Pro Glide, but you'll see it soon. Oh, the only thing I remember about it is it's called the Chill. The reason I got it is because of that reason. It's called the Chill. I quite like the colour of it as well. Right, so there's the brush loaded up. Hopefully that's enough that's going to be in there to do my whole shave. I'm just going to wet my face. Scoop all the excess out of the tub. Now this is, from memory, I think this is the duck fat formula from Oleo. Yeah, duck fat formula. And to be fair, it is an absolutely superb soap. The base, the scent. Now, I've used a few Oleo Soapworks products. I was very lucky to be part of the sort of testing group for this formula. And what she ended up with is an exceptional product, in my opinion, a really high quality base. The only thing I've struggled with really is the scents. I have reacted to quite a few of the scents, and that's just my skin. That's nothing really to do with anything else other than that. It's a personal thing. So don't let that put you off if you want to try them. Because this soap base, when the scent works for me and doesn't react, is as good as anything on the market. Right, I'm just going to dip the tips and start painting some water in. This knot definitely does impress me in terms of how small it is to how much lather it creates and how much lather it holds. I do generally get just get 3 passes out of this in terms of lather. I'm going to spray the brush now. As you can see, it's gone translucent pretty much all over. Just going to scoop that a little bit on there. And there we go. Now this brush does have a very, very minimal scritch to it. It's nothing major, it's nothing that irritates my skin at all, which would mean that the general majority of you wouldn't have any issues with this knot. But just bear in mind that it does have a little tiny bit of scritch, and it feels like maybe like 20 hairs out of the whole brush that do it. Add some water. There we go. Now I have to say, I was quite surprised with this brush. When it arrived, it's very thin, it's very long. The knot's tiny, and I didn't think it'd be a great latherer, but as you can see, very easily it creates a phenomenal lather. It holds a lot of lather for the size of the knot, and it just does a great job. It really does. I'm finding longer handled brushes tend to be a little bit easier to use. They don't get as much mess on them. You can keep your hands away from the lather better. Okay, so for the right side of my face, I'm going to use the Coles 5-blade cartridge razor. You've seen it before on the channel. Cheapest chips, cost $6 for this razor with 2 blades and $6.50 for 4 cartridges, or the other way around, something like that. Australian dollars. Very cheap, very cheerful, does a great job. So here we go with the grain. I've got 24 hours growth. Beautiful. One thing I love about cartridge razors, bing bang bong, 20 seconds and you're sort of done with that side. Right, now the other razor, I'll just show you with the whole thing, because if you haven't seen it before. So this is what the whole thing comes like. It's a Gillette Fusion chill. And the chill basically means that these two little parts here on the razor, comes with 2 cartridges. This blue bit on the bottom here and the blue bit on the top offer a cooling sensation. Now, I don't know whether that's menthol, camphor, I'm not sure, but it does offer a little bit of cooling. It's a solid metal construction, it's got amazing grip, it really has, the grip on it is phenomenal. And it pivots that way, and it also pivots that way. So it gives, you can literally pull it along your face and it goes around every contour, every groove. Now, personally, it's the smoothest razor I think I've ever used. I find it smoother pulling it across my skin than the carve. The only major issue I find that I come across with cartridge razors is that if I use them daily, I get a lot of, not a lot of irritation, but I do get ingrown hairs like this here, on this little bit here. This is, in my opinion, all part of shaving with cartridge razors that I've been using sort of recently, just testing them out. Now, one thing just to mention, both of these razors on the back here have got a cutting blade for doing under your nose, setting up your sideburns, things like that. The one on this razor is freaking useless, absolutely useless. There's no point in having it on the razor in my opinion. It just does nothing. The one in the Fusion, however, is absolutely spot on. It gets instantly close. No issues with it whatsoever. It just does a great job. As always with the Oleo soapworks, excellent residual slickness. As you can see, this little brush, when paired up with a high quality soap, just does wonders. It really does. Phenomenal little brush, amazing soap. The scent is off the charts. Right, across the grain. I do have a very small weeper right here on that side. But nothing to worry about. So I'm just thinking as well, weight wise, very similar in weight. The Gillette is just ever so slightly heavier. I do feel a difference straight away. And the sharpness and smoothness of the blades. The Gillette just feels better. Just going to have a quick feel and just see what they feel like on both sides, because I'm expecting it to be very similar. And they are. So just based on the first two passes, there's nothing between the shave itself. The only difference being that the Gillette is a smoother shave and the single blade on the back works better, just as simple as that. It's a better cutting tool on the back of the Gillette for lining your sideburns and cutting under your nose. Overall, in terms of build quality, the Gillette is hands down a better built razor. It looks better, it feels better in the hand, it's slightly heavier, the chroming on it's better, it's just a better finished razor. Right, pass number 3 and the final pass. So like I was saying, I get just enough out of that brush for 3 passes. I probably get 4 out of that quite comfortably. Right, cross the grain other direction. There's something I can't do with a DE razor. Go against the grain, and it's so comfortable with a Gillette, it really is. Now no doubt I'll end up with ingrown hairs and stuff like that, but it's just to show you how simple it is. There's no pain or anything, I don't get any feeling from doing it. One thing that these cartridge razors, for the way I shave and my personal view on them, is that if I'm going to be going on a night out, or I've got a special occasion and I need to shave for it, I'm shaving with a cartridge every day then, because it just doesn't matter what's going on. If it's a wedding, birthday party, doesn't matter. I need to be clean shaven and really good shave. I'm going to shave with a cartridge, it's as simple as that. It gets a closer shave. If it's a one-off shave, if I'm using my double-edged razor every day for weeks and weeks and weeks, I know I'm going to have good skin. I'm not going to get any major irritation. I'll get very few ingrown hairs, if any. But the shaves are never quite as close. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you'll know just from looking there on my chin and things, that's closer than I can get with a double-edged razor. I can use the carb against the grain. It's still not super comfortable, but it's very comfortable, but not comfortable enough for me to do it all the time or on every shave. But with a cartridge razor, for just one-off shaves, where I'm just doing, just to get real close, I get an outstanding shave every time. I've got a little bit of redness there, but other than that, the rest of it looks really good. Right, I'm just going to rinse the brush out. Beautiful. Rinse the soap out. I've got one little weeper on the bottom here. I don't know what razor did it, because I think I sort of crossed over with both on that bit of my Adam's apple. So it could have been either razor. I do generally get one or two tiny little weepers, even with a cartridge razor. But it mainly happens because I get a little bit complacent, I just start flying around. But that is one hell of a close shave, it really is. Just going to finish off now with that darn balm, which is the same scent as the soap. In fact, this probably smells better in my opinion. You don't need a lot of it. A tiny little bit like that. Now that smells so similar to like a coffee chocolate, like I think it was Rosie's that used to do this, the coffee chocolate, or even the coffee one that's inside a bag of Rebels. It smells very, very similar. It's a very, very gourmand scented balm. Sweet coffee, sort of latte sort of scent, chocolate, beautiful scent. Just got that one little weeper there. Let me just have a feel on the head. I'm just going to leave my head. I was going to moisturise it, but the Australian Private Reserve F2 base. Now I've had a shower since shaving my head, and it's still super moisturised. Really, really impressed with that soap. The base is outstanding. You may have your own opinions of Dan himself, but for me, I like his scents. But the soap base, which isn't even made by him, is outstanding. Really good. In my opinion, better than the first version soap. So that being said, I'll finish off with the razors today. That darn soap, phenomenal. It really is. It's easily one of my favourite soaps on the planet. And this was very, very kindly piffed to me all the way from Denmark, I believe. And I think it was Jakob Jensen, I think it was. Don't quote me on that. I could be the wrong bloke completely, but I think that's who sent it over. It's outstanding. I absolutely love it. He had soaps that already smelled like it, so he wasn't interested in keeping it. He sent it over here and I'm just over the moon. I absolutely love this stuff. I love gourmand scents, and it doesn't get much more gourmand than that. Beautiful carved shaving brush, 20mm Super Badger, but I'm going to say Pure Badger. I don't think this is Super, I think he's been duped. But either way, it creates a stunning lather. It really does. It works very well. Because it's a small head on there, the small knot, you don't use a lot of soap, so you tend to save more soap by using it and still create a really thick, voluminous, creamy lather. Now the razors, we have the Coles one here and Gillette here. The Gillette for me just outdoes this razor in pretty much every department. It's not that this razor here is a poorly made razor, it's actually a very good razor. And for the money, in this day and age, you will not get much better. You really won't. So for like sort of $6 Australian, which is similar to $6 Canadian, I think it's about $8.50 American or something, you can pick up a real good quality cartridge razor. The blades are easily accessible over here in Australia if you do use it, but it's not as good as that. This razor is outstanding in my opinion for a cartridge razor. I don't remember ever using a cartridge razor that shaved as good as that. It's so smooth and comfortable. let's see, I've got a tiny little bit of irritation there. Both sides feel pretty much identical in shave, so you're going to get a similar shave out of both. The main difference being, to buy this razor on its own, you're going to pay anywhere between $10 and $18, depending if it's on special or full price, with 2 cartridges. This one is $6 or $6.50 with 2 cartridges. If you want to buy 4 blades for this, however, you're looking at 20 odd bucks, $26 or something for 4 blades. That means you can buy 12 blades for this for the same price. And that for me sort of is what wins the battle overall. It all comes down to cost in my opinion. If money is of no object, buy that. Buy the Gillette Fusion. It's an outstanding razor. It shaves better than any cartridge razor I've ever used. I've not used it on my head yet. I will use it on my head soon. It'll be interesting to see how it competes against the head blade and all of the cartridge razors that I've used. The Gillette Sensor XL is also an excellent cartridge razor, but I just find this Fusion, even though it's got 5 blades, shaves better than any cartridge razor that I've ever used. So with that being said, I know this has been a long video and it's based on 2 razors that most people that watch my channel won't be interested in, but it gives you a bit more insight into cartridge razors and why I still think they deserve a place in anyone's den, just for that, in my opinion, that ultimate quick close shave that you can't get, in my opinion, from a double-edged razor or a straight razor, unless you go against the grain, which I don't. You go against the grain, I have no doubt in my mind you'll get a similar, if not better shave, and a much more enjoyable shave using traditional methods of straight razors, single-edged razors, double-edged razors, than you will with a cartridge. There's no excitement in this shaving for me. It's all about the end product and quick shaving. That's what a cartridge does for me. I don't get any enjoyment out of using them in terms of actually using them, but that's just me. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.